Hello and welcome to a Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so excited. We are talking season 23, episode 12, Tommy Baker's Hardest Fight. Before we get into the discussion for this episode, I would love to provide everyone with a hotline if you need it. If you were assaulted, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does that spell?
It spells hope.
It does spell hope. And for those who are new to our show, sometimes this show goes dark, and when that happens, we make light. So please consider this your content warning. Some of us may say things that are offensive if you have that sensibility. I don't really know. I warn everybody, and then
just out of caution.
Yep. So we actually have a lot of great stuff to talk about, and I'm really excited to share some news with everybody. So stick around for that. But before all that, let's get into this discussion. Taylor, what did you think about season 23, episode 12, Tommy Baker's Hardest Fight?
I actually quite liked this episode. I thought there was some fun lines, which we'll get to. This felt like a very, almost throwbacky episode, because it was very much like, okay, we have all these suspects, and we're going to go through all of them and see who it is. And there was some twists, but they, made sense. They were a little out there, but not out there enough. And I was like, I don't buy this. I don't know. I thought it was a fun episode. It was just weird to say, because obviously, pretty sad at parts, but it was just, a very much, okay, this is, a classic kind of mystery whodunit type thing. And so I thought it was cool. And yeah, I just thought it was really fun. And we got to see them having a little bit of fun too, with Rollins and Velasco, watching the fight and stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit.
Yeah, I really like this episode as well. I think that you're right. It was very throwbacky. I definitely was like, oh my God, is this the episode about the gay football player that it was his agent knew? And it was I was like, we've already done this, but it wasn't that. And I really appreciated that. I'm going to tell you what I loved the most in this episode was how everyone knew he was gay and everyone was cool with it.
Yeah.
The problem wasn't, the reason he was attacked was not because he was gay. It was because people are greedy. And I love that twist.
Well, I especially, not to jump ahead too much, but I love when they were interviewing Jax, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you weren't cool with that. He's like, yes, I was. I was going to make so much money off of this, which I was like, I honestly kind of respect that we went that angle. Because it's kind of true. Here's the thing. As much as I do love, the gay pride campaigns, it's kind of become a bit of a joke in June when all of the corporations bust that out. And so the fact that it kind of satire, it was a bit satirical, it felt when he was just yeah, man, I was absolutely cool with it. I was gonna profit big off of this. I thought that was pretty funny, actually.
I agree wholeheartedly. It was really well done. I have to give us some shout outs here. So Jax Bell was played by Eric LeRae Harvey, who is a repeat offender. He was in Presumed Guilty and Manic. We have more. Obviously, we have some more repeat offenders. Little Tino came back. That's literally how I know him, and that's what I refer to him as. His name in this episode was, in fact, Phil Diaz, played by G.K. Ume. And he, of course, was Lil Tino. But also, and I'm going to let people, if they want to go check if we caught this before, he was an educated guess as the security.
Oh, that's right. Educated Guess was my favorite episode, so I should have known that. Because he looked familiar to me, so it's maybe it's that.
He's
or maybe
Latino.
It's Latino. I know that too. I know. he's so memorable for so many reasons.
But so we did Educated Guess, and I don't know that I even noticed that it was him.
I'm sure you did, because you love Little Tino.
I love Little Tino. So it was really funny to see Little Tino in this role. And then I was kind of bummed that Little Tino was the bad guy in the end, because he already was.
He was, but it's pretty complex.
It's complicated. Honestly, I actually really, again, I'm just gonna be all over this place this episode, because I did love that Chrissy, Tommy's wife, was like, yeah, he's gay, and it's cool. Like, he has.
I love that too. I also knew that there was something more to her because she was too nice. I was like, there's no way this bitch is completely innocent. Like, she's just acting way too sweet. But yeah, I like the way that it kind of panned out. So she wasn't like, I was worried they were gonna go the route that she actually wasn't cool with it. Like, she wanted revenge on him for and I was like so mad. I was gonna be so mad. But I love that it wasn't that. It was way messier.
Honestly, I really was positive when she was saying how she's with Ricky and that it was a secret, or it wasn't a secret. She told him right after it happened. And then so he thought she could do better. And I thought that was going to be the reason, was because she didn't like her boyfriend. And I thought that would have been such a fun story.
Yeah,
but, like,
honestly, yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been so good. But that wasn't even it.
We just kept going, and that's what I love. Like, when it snowballs so out there, like, things just keep piling. But they did it really well, I think, in this episode. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're right. The snowball really it made sense. I understood how we got there. Like, yeah, it was about greed. It was everything in this episode was about greed.
Yeah, and it's funny because I kind of like how they faked us out too with the opening, where like they were kind of going after each other at the little like pre fight event or whatever. I was like, oh, so this Kiki the killer is obviously absolutely nothing to do with it. And so I kind of like how they tricked us at the beginning too.
It's interesting because upon rewatch, we have that moment where Jax turns to Lil Tino, aka Phil, and is like, is he okay? Like, I've never seen him like this. And I was like, what did this have to do with anything?
Right, me too. But that's what, because I was like, okay, so maybe Tommy, like, I thought maybe something, because his personality seemed different than usual. So I was like, maybe there's like some kind of like brain damage he has that they're like, that's going to come into play. But I kind of like that it didn't. I kind of like that it was just like a red herring, because I think it was done well.
Yeah. Speaking of red herrings, let's talk about his dad. Bootlegger, also repeat offender. That is Chance Kelly, who was previously in the episode Florida. I loved that the whole thing about it was he came because he's dying and he wanted to say goodbye. And then he was like, I taught him to fight because I knew that he would need it. Like his father knew that he was gay and was like, he's going to get picked on. And so I'm going to teach him to be tough. And it's just not what you expect at all.
No, it's not at all. I agree. I thought that was they really like subverted a lot of the expectations, which I thought was cool. Like, the wife wasn't mad. She was just like, yeah, he's my bestie, and that's fine. Like, whatever. The dad was like, no, man, I was looking out for him. I was like, okay, I love this. Like, everyone that you think it's going to be, no, it's just this guy who wants money and his lover, who also now wants money because he's not gonna leave Chrissy.
Right, like his lover's mad that he doesn't want to leave his wife for him, which,
like, that's kind of fair, I guess. But
sure. It's Jasmine in the chat says, I really thought it was the dad. I also was like, it's clearly the dad. Like, how interesting that it's. At first I was like, we've already seen this episode and it's going to be Jax. Like, I
thought it was going to be Jax too.
And then I loved that it wasn't. And then I was like, well, then it's the dad. I love that it wasn't. And then I was like, it's 100% the wife. Chrissy did it.
It was so good. It really had me going in so many directions.
And this episode also brought back a fan favorite character of
the nurse
Rudy.
I was like, I wrote him down. He was great. I genuinely just like want to see him anytime we're at the hospital because he's so wonderful.
So Stephen Whalem, who is the actor who plays Nurse Rudy, I 100% love that when he sees Benson, he's like, I'm so glad that you're here. Like, I know that you're gonna handle this properly. Daryl says, I'm pretty sure the last time I saw the actor who plays the dad, that's Chance Kelly, who's playing a white supremacist. Probably.
Like, no, I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Hey, we've given a content warning. You could say whatever thought comes to mind.
Well, I'm just like, I'm sure this guy is nice in real life, but I can see how he would be typecast as that. Like, let's just put it that way. You know?
Absolutely.
But like, what would I be typecast as? Like, I don't know that I want to know that. So
you're not an actor.
I'm not an actor, and there's a reason why, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Chief McGrath's whole thing.
Okay. Sure.
Look, we've been building up this Chief McGrath stuff for a long time. And I'm going to put this out there. Correct me if I misunderstood, but it sounded like he's having issues with his teenage daughters. Reminds me of Stabler.
Me too. I was literally thought, I was like, okay, chill out, Elliot. Like, let's just relax.
And it seems that it turned into a domestic situation. The police were called, and he told them to leave and say that it was unfounded. And I'm going to say this, and again, if you're watching live, if you're commenting later, correct me if I'm wrong. Chief McGrath is abusive, yes?
Yeah, that's what I got out of it and gathered. And I'm a little mad that Olivia wasn't seeing it that way. Team Finn. Okay. Team Finn.
Here's the thing about the Finn part of it. Finn was like, hey, boss, I've never played politics because I'm a rebel and do what I want. But here's how you should play politics.
I loved it. Finn was great in this episode. I'm mad Felicia's not here right now because she would love to be talking about Finn in this episode. Yeah.
Daryl in the chat says, I didn't get that. He did not catch this. That possibly it seems that McGrath is abusive.
Here's the thing. Do I think he laid a hand on his daughter? I don't know. That's not what I gathered from this. However, if he's pushing the door open and yelling loud enough for the cops to be called, having Olivia have to teach him about anger management, I don't know. That feels pretty borderline, at least to me.
I agree with you. I think that he's, what we know for sure is that there was shouting, there was door pushing. His daughter was drunk. It was the middle of the night. He was angry. We've seen him angry. People with anger issues, it escalates. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, oh no, he just punched the wall.
Right. And it's the fact that he is specifically telling the cops to leave this on unfounded, that's sketchy. And the fact that Olivia's comparing it to saying you're on the job when you get pulled over, that is so not the same thing. And I hate that you just compare those two things.
I assume this is building towards something.
Yeah, it better be. And it better be towards him being out the door.
Right. I think it's very interesting that the situation resolved, air quotes on the word resolved for our audio only listeners, is that he was suggested he get counseling or anger management. And he was like, no, because then someone's gonna be able to use that to pull me down. Sir, your priority should not be your status. Your priority should be the safety and well-being of your family. Go on.
And I just, listen, this is a grown-ass man. Not only that, he works with the SVU team. And so the fact that Olivia has to tell this man to get anger management, here's the thing. It's sad because that probably actually is something that very much happens, but it seems so ridiculous to me. Sir, you should know that. This should not even be a conversation that needs to be had with you. And I get that it's in the real world, yes, but it's just it just feels like we're working with people who are so emotionally intelligent in ways. Olivia Benson knows. And this man is emotional IQ of a first grader right now. It's driving me nuts. It almost feels she's babying him. I didn't like it, I didn't like that. And I didn't like that I don't think we were meant to be on his side, but I feel we were meant to sympathize a little bit with him, and I didn't at all.
Oh, I have yet to sympathize with anything with that man, but I'll say this. I'm assuming, and this is again based on how the story has gone, that we are headed towards cops SVU called to his house for perhaps abusing his daughter. You know what I mean? I assume this is reminding me a lot of what was his name? The one who was married to Pippa Cox, who had the child porn.
Yes, I know it exactly. Yeah,
Was
I
it
hope so.
Adrian?
I hope it's not like a rehabilitation story for him because I don't care. Sorry.
I don't think we're gonna. No, because here's the thing.
He's
Is
annoying.
a shining example of what a lot of police officers are like.
Right.
And he's what I would call a bad cop, just like another detective who had anger management issues, who was investigated a lot by IAB and then quit because he didn't want anger management and to continue being investigated for shooting people.
Well,
Who was that?
I don't know, man.
Not
That's
a
really
great
good question.
cop.
Yeah.
Not only not a great cop, I'll tell you this, has his own show where he continues to be a bad cop.
Yeah.
And I'm so jealous of all of you who don't have to watch it.
Well, sorry. And thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. I just want to be appreciated because I
do appreciate you. I really do.
Thanks.
I really do.
All right, Rainbow Warrior. Anything else you want to talk about on this episode?
Please only call me that from now on. I'm actually begging you.
I love the Rainbow Warrior merch.
Me too. I would buy it.
Actually reminds me of.
I was gonna say maybe that's our new merch.
It reminds me of. So for those who don't know, there is a wrestler on WWE named Sonya Deville, who is the first out lesbian wrestler on WWE, and she has Pride Fighter shirts that are really cute. And so it like Rainbow Warrior reminded me of that, of her merch. Also, she is the greatest and very sweet, and everyone should go and support her.
I love that. I know nothing about like fighting as a sport.
No, but you know, did you know?
I know lesbians.
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, believe it or not. I support her on principle.
Right. You never met her?
I don't think so.
Oh. All right. That's okay. She's wonderful. All right. Shall we move into best lines?
Yeah, I have so many. So
I mean, unless people have other thoughts on this episode, we'll come back to more discussions. Best lines. Here we go. I have a few. I liked, and none of them are like funny. Here's what I liked.
Oh, mine are all like funny. I mean, I don't know if it's like they should be funny, but they were funny to me.
All right. I really loved when Chrissy says about Tommy, he's my everything. And then they ask, what's Ricky? And she goes, my everything else. I really love that.
Yeah, it actually is.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Ricky says, I was a generous lover. Chrissy was generous in return.
Yeah,
I like that one.
You know, I wrote that one too.
And then you never really know what's going on in a marriage, especially your own. That one gave me pause.
I said, me too. I said, but maybe you should though, yeah?
Also, Benson, what? You're not married? What do you know?
Yeah, how would you know, Bethany? How would you know?
Yeah. And then I actually really loved the last line of the episode, which is, my name is Thomas Baker. I'm married to my best friend, Chrissy. I'm a gay man. I'm a sexual assault survivor. I am a warrior. I loved that line.
Listen, again, I teared up a little. This is the second week in a row that SVU has made me tear up because of gay issues. SVU, thank you so much for this.
I do like how gay SVU is getting.
SVU is getting so queer, and that's good because you know that we were not happy, even our bestie Cat is not here anymore. And so they're kind of trying to make it up, and it's kind of working. We gotta be honest. I still miss Cat, though. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just have to shout out the cops at the beginning who were trying to save his reputation. And Finn's face when the girl said, I was trying to protect his reputation. He was so done. Like, he was so done. I also, like, I'm not letting a champ go out like this. Like, okay. Cool. Tell him he should go get a life. Finn about McGrath. I said, that's very true. And then when they were watching the fight, Louis said, this is fake, right? And Rollins is so insulted. Does that look fake? I love her passion for it. She was cracking me up this episode. I work in sex crimes every day. I get enough human spectacle.
Yes. That was brilliant.
That was great. When they're talking about this gave me a bit of pause. So there's no cameras. They got on a board voted against it because the women didn't want to be ogled. But like, wouldn't it be good to have cameras in case they were getting ogled and they could know who were ogling them in the gym? I get what they mean. However, like, maybe think about it one step further. Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, I'm trying to think. Are there security cameras in gyms? I think so.
But I get that this place seemed really like high end, so maybe it's a privacy thing is what I was guessing. That's just like, okay.
You know, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Nike Wheaties, hell, we were even talking to Trojans.
I love that because that is genius. Honestly, I want Jax Bell to be my business manager. Like,
me too.
We could make so much merch.
I just like love the specificity of the brands too. So good. Not the line itself, but the way that Olivia delivered it. Well, it doesn't look good, Chrissy.
I think that the lines, the interrogations with Chrissy between Benson and Chrissy especially were just so fast and so good. I loved that.
I'm about to start saying, well, it doesn't look good, Chrissy, just in my everyday life because it was really...
I think you should.
Well, it doesn't look good, Chrissy. And then I also just love the fact that they haven't had McGrath say canceled because it didn't feel right. But I like that they had it. One cop with the grudge and then I'm canceled. And I was like, would you be saying that? I don't know. But I guess it's like a buzzword that he's like really trying to throw around.
But also, I would like to cancel him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would love for one cop with the grudge to be able to cancel you. But it won't. You probably won't ever get canceled because of who you are. But yeah, those were the lines that I had. Did I have any more?
You reminded me of another one.
Oh, please.
Which was when Chrissy was like, "It's my one secret," and then Betsy goes,
"Which one?
This one, yeah. Or this one, or this one? Which secret? Which was your one secret?"
That's too good. Well, it doesn't look good, Chrissy. It's like really killed me when I watched it.
Anyway,
others? No, that was all. But then there's so many good ones.
There are.
It was a crime of passion. Also, just whenever they say crime of passion, like really, I just love it. It was a crime of passion.
When he was like, "It's a crime of passion," guess who it was? That is not helpful. That's not helpful.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, Chrissy, like question mark, and then we finally got there. But I was just like, I don't know what that means. Right. I'm so sorry.
Also, it could have been you. It could have been you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, everyone was pretty passionate about something in the situation.
Yeah, you were passionate about money.
Right. Hey. Also, I don't know. I just want to. So he decides to buy a train ticket to Tampa. Like, of all the modes of transportation and of all the places he could go, a train ticket. Okay. I forgot that part. So I was just like, I'd for sure be buying a plane ticket. I don't know about you.
I assume it was challenging because he thought they would be looking for his passport or whatever for flights. Who travels by train anymore?
Yeah, and to Tampa nonetheless. That's a long train ride. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I really love this episode. It was so fun. It had good twists. It had fun lines. It had a good message.
Yeah.
I hate McGrath. Like, everything about it was great. We had our friend Velasco was there this time. That was nice. He made it. All right.
I liked him and Rollins hanging out, but I'm just, maybe this is just because I've been trained. Well, yeah, no, that's why I'm saying this. Like, I was like, okay, I like them being friends. Like, I'm here for that. However, do they ever just make them friends? And that's what I'm scared about. Like, are we going to have a stupid triangle with them and Greasy? Because I don't want that.
I really hope not. Because
I hope not either. But people are gonna ship it if they're in the same freaking bar together. Like, it's just gonna happen.
Yes, I assume people are already shipping it and they're wrong. But I will say this. I think that the fact that he was like, my date canceled, why don't you get on the back of my motorcycle and we go to this bar, is a little weird.
That's suspicious. That's suspicious.
Also, the fact that she could last minute call the sitter to stay is...
Well, for time and a half, I would do it too.
Yeah, that poor sitter.
And an Uber home. No, that's a generous offer.
No, I know.
Time and a half and an Uber home. I would absolutely be doing that.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the sitter now has no life because this probably happens a lot because
that babysitter has more money than I do right now, for sure. But I love the fact that she just did not care about her kids. She was like, no, I'm watching the fight. And I said, I respect that.
I was surprised it didn't. We bring up that she was a gambler, but like, I feel like this was a temptation, and I'm surprised that I just think that
I thought about that too. Actually, I thought about that too.
Yeah. Anyway,
I kind of miss her gambler's fallacy era. Even though she was a mess, it was fun to watch.
Well, you like the mess. I just wanted to acknowledge that every day is a challenge.
Sure. Also, let's bring back Kim Rollins forward.
Look.
I miss Kim so much. We haven't seen her in such a long time.
Good.
No, bring her back.
No.
She gets worse and worse every time we see her, and I love it so much. I want Kim back.
Speaking of
bring her back.
Bring her back. That we will meet McGrath's daughter, and she will be a Kim-like character.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, she's for sure gonna get into some shit. Oh, that's going to be so good. I actually am really excited about that now that you say that because it's inevitable. It is inevitable.
Literally, we're dropping these hints.
She's drunk at 2:30 and she's like...
A teenager?
I don't know how old. Yeah, but you know something's going to happen. Okay, I'm ready for that, actually. It's going to be wild.
All right.
I love a good, like, wild teen episode.
So, for those who have never joined us before, we are available on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and anywhere you listen to podcasts. So please make sure that you are rating and reviewing us on iTunes at least. And if you're on YouTube, you can always leave us comments here. I love reading the comments. I think I'm the only one who reads them, but I do enjoy them. I will also say, if you rate and review us on iTunes, we appreciate it. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars because the other stars are still broken for some reason.
So weird. I don't know why that would
happen. But leave us a comment. If you give us 4 stars, you have to tell us why 4 stars. What did we do wrong? And how can we improve? Daryl in the chat says, I assume McGrath's kid will be attacked and it will require SVU. I assume it'll be an attack by McGrath.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
maybe hold on, I'm gonna tie it back to last week. Maybe she's hanging out with Hudson.
Oh, Hudson.
I can so see it. Here's the thing, bring Hudson back. Okay, he is a menace.
No,
he's a menace, and I need to see him again.
I
still swear that Hudson and Henry from Born Psychopath are in cahoots. I just know it.
Here's the thing about Hudson is I would like to see him again when he goes to Hudson. Like I really want it to tie in that he is going to his namesake.
And then the whole episode is them confused on like what they're talking about because they're like Hudson the college or Hudson the person. And it's both at the end of the day. They're both shouldn't be trusted out in the general public. Yeah.
Also, before we move on, for those who have never seen us before, we make fun swag. And so I made us some new swag. As of last week's episode, I was so inspired by Noah. Let's see if I can bring this up for you all. 1 second. Here we go. So you can get some there's no shame in being true to yourself swag with a little Noah on it.
No, I'm really gonna cry though.
We have 2 different versions of this that you can get. It comes in different on different items. That is our newest swag, and you can check that out. There's a link in the description below. And I think we're going to maybe do something where some of the money will go to the Trevor Project. So
I love that.
Yeah, because that is something we really care about here.
Yes. Close to our hearts.
Yes. Amazing. So check out the Noah Swag. If you're listening to us on audio, then you missed it. So check us out on YouTube or on Spotify.
Take my word for it. It's some great merch.
Thank you. It took me a long time to do.
It's really good.
I'm proud of it. What else do I want to tell everybody about? So we're off for the next few weeks because of the Olympics. So boo on that. But I don't think we'll be doing new old episodes, but we'll let you know. And we'll tell you where to keep an eye out in case we decide we're going to do something. But now it's time for the weekly poll.
It sure is. We asked everyone last week on our episode Burning with Rage Forever, one of the greatest. I actually really like last week's too. What your favorite episode with gamers is, and this is an interesting turnout.
Okay.
Oh my god, Yael, you're gonna be shook by these results. In last place, which is just so insulting, is Bullseye, because Bullseye is so great. That's season 12, episode 2. That's in last place. Y'all are tasteless for that. But it's okay. I'm just kidding. These are all actually really good episodes. In third place, we have Avatar, season 9, episode 2. Turn down the
really
sun.
Shocked.
Me too. And in first place, we have a tie between Burning with Rage Forever and Intimidation Game. So, Yael, I just want you to know you voted twice for Intimidation Game. So you absolutely rigged this so it would tie for first place.
I just didn't want it to have 0. That's all.
Well, it tied for first, so clearly our audience agrees with you and not the IMDb star score.
Look, the IMDb star score is 100% made by just gamers who are upset.
Yes, for sure. But it's still...
Look,
it's
Intimidation is
so
a great
low.
episode.
No, what? Let's see what it's actually rated. I want to give you an actual number.
It's like a 1, isn't it?
No, it's a 3.7. And yet it won the poll.
Because it's actually a good episode. It's fun.
I know. I just, every time I see it on IMDb, it just makes me laugh because everything else is like in the 7s, 8s, 9s, 3.7.
Honestly, if I were to rank this last week's poll, I think Intimidation Game would be my first because I do actually really like that one. Bullseye would be second, and then
Avatar,
and then I would put Burning at 4th.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly really liked all of those episodes, but we talked a little bit how Burning with Rage was slightly inconsistent story-wise, but it had by Noah, so it was like that bumps.
Right. I think that Noah coming out is like the best and possibly the only good part of last week's.
Yeah. Okay. This week we actually have kind of a similar. Yeah, we have a sort of similar poll. We're asking what your favorite fighter/boxer episode is. There's actually quite a few, which is why I put an other thing below. But these are the first 3 I thought of. Of course, we have today's, which we just talked about. And besides that, we have Intent, which that's one of Yael's favorite episodes of all time. So I had to include that one. That's the catfish episode.
It's the double catfish episode with the monster.
Yeah. That's a great episode. That's exactly, I knew we had to put that one. And then I also put a Redemption in Her Corner, which is the one where Kat is like at her boxing studio and that whole thing, which is a great episode too. There's also like other ones, like there's the one, I didn't put it because it wasn't really like a boxing episode, but it's the one that's called Pretend, I think, where the guys like have the wrestling whatever in the basement. There's Pop, which is like kind of
the girl who's 16.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite parts from that episode that I just always have to talk about because it's like one of the funniest things in my whole life. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. Yeah, when she has her mouth sewn shut and Olivia's like, you can't cry. Like, you're not going to be able to breathe. It's like literally one of the funniest things ever. Such a good episode. Listen, you can't cry. You're not going to be able to.
My niece, this niece is Cassandra. Yeah, no.
God, that episode is gold. So, like, I was like, okay, that's a little bit of a stretch to, like, put that into this poll. But if you want to count it, then you put other and you say that in the comments, all right?
Also, a box.
There's so many.
With Coco, Ice-T's wife.
Yes. Yes. There's so many, like I said, but I was like, okay, these are, like, the first ones that sprung to mind. But that's why I was like, okay, I'll definitely put another option so people
Thank you for including
up in arms.
I was about to be really annoyed.
No, I knew that I would not be invited back to the podcast, but I didn't put intent, so made sure to put that as a first choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh man, we'll tell you where to find that poll in just a sec because I need to go vote. And then our segment that we always forget about, and I did not come prepared today.
I came prepared.
Oh,
do you want to know?
Yeah,
I learned it doesn't look good, Chrissy.
Oh,
that's it.
Fair. I learned you can never really know what's going on in a marriage, especially your own.
I love it.
I'm not married. I never know what's going on in marriage.
Yeah. What else did I learn? I learned that that gym does not have cameras, so I could commit crimes there if I wanted.
Just that one gym.
Just that one gym. I'll find it, commit my crime there, and leave.
Yeah. All right. If you learned anything, let us know in the chat. And we'll bring it up. But if not, what else? I told you about where to find our merch. I told you that we're on iTunes and you should rate and review us. I told you that we are going to be off during the Olympics, but we might, probably not. We might do an older episode. I still really would love to do the Carol Burnett, Matthew Lillard episode, but only Ballerina, I believe it's called, but only if Matthew Lillard will be on the show.
I would love that, especially because I've just been rewatching all the Screams.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I think that's everything that we have to talk about today for SVU Season 23, Episode 12, Tommy Baker's Hardest Fight. On that note, Taylor, where are you on the internet and where can everyone find the poll?
Yes, you guys can find me and the poll on Twitter at alphabet_and. You can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I write for a site called Show Snob. I'm covering a bunch of different shows over there if you like TV recaps and TV news and all of that. So yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Awesome.
And here every Sunday, of course.
I am Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere on the internet at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. I want to give special shout outs to Daryl and Jasmine who are chatting it up with us in the live chat. If you want to be part of the conversation, please join us Sundays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, and chat away with us. We love hearing your thoughts and opinions and correcting us when we're wrong. It's rare, but we love it.
We need to be kept accountable.
Absolutely. Is there anything else I need to say? Felicia is on the internet at It's Felicia Michelle on Instagram. She does not really use her Twitter.
But it's Felicia on air.
Yeah, just in case. All right. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.